Greetings, brethren. I would like to make people aware of one of the heresies that Martin Richling once taught. I'm not aware if a video is still up on YouTube teaching that Jesus was created or he was the beginning of the creation of God. Um, but he has since, took this video that was recorded, his audio, the audio that was captured here. That was since taken down, but I remember watching a video where he taught this. But this has been at least 8 years, 8 years ago in 2014. Now so I would like to make people aware of the heresy Martin Ridgely at least once taught, um, that it was so closely resembles if that the teaching was that Jesus was a created being. He was the beginning of the creation of God, the first creation of God. And why that's a heresy, that would lower the deity of Christ to a mere creature and not the eternal creator. And that's what was once tackled in the early church. It's a heresy called Arianism. Arianism is heresy named for a guy named Arius, a priest, false teacher, in the early 4th century or 300s AD in Alexandria, Egypt. One of the earliest and probably the most important item of debate early Christians was the subject of Christ's deity. Was Jesus truly God in the flesh, or was Jesus a created being? Was Jesus God or not? Arius denied the deity of the Son of God, holding that Jesus was created by God as the first act of creation, and the nature of Christ was anomos, unlike that of God and the Father. Arianism then is the view that Jesus is a finite created being with some attributes, but he's not eternal and not divine of himself. Um, so, to the point here that the Arian taught that God the Father, his first act of creation was the Son, and through the Son he created everything else: the stars, the earth, mankind, animals. So first he created the Son, and the Son created everything else. Now that's a heresy, because it would make Jesus Christ a creature. Um, so let's play this here.
You see that? The sun, the moon, and the stars are created on the fourth day. So what's this light? The light of the world in John chapter 1 is Jesus Christ. The light created there in Genesis 1 is Jesus Christ. Now people think I'm a heretic nut. Let me tell you what. If you read this Bible and let the Bible just speak on itself and don't come to it with preconceived ideas, you will see that Jesus Christ is the beginning of the creation of God.
So he sees, well, the Genesis 1, when God said, let there be light, and there was light, that light was Jesus Christ. Well, no. It was just light of itself, or whatever interpretations, but it was not that he created the sun. You could say, well, it's his glory, or just a light source. That in the New Jerusalem, that they did not need the sun or anything, because um, God was their light. And see, and John 1:5 says that God is light. Then is the message which we have heard of him declare unto you, that God is light, and in him is no darkness at all. So, not that Jesus Christ is light. I mean, God is light of himself. And this was come from Revelation 3:14. And unto the angel of Christ the Laodiceans write, these things saith the Amen, the faithful and true witness, the beginning of the creation of God. Now, you gotta be careful. You got to take what you already know, the simple verses, and take in light those truths, and not make it contradict itself. Because you can't start with vague verses that you don't understand, then make a doctrine out of it. Because if Jesus is God Jehovah, he's the Alpha Omega, the beginning and the end. Revelation 1:8, I'm the Alpha Omega, the beginning and end, saith the Lord, which is, which was, and which is to come, the Almighty. If Jesus Christ is the Alpha Omega and the Almighty, he's eternal. He has no beginning and no ending. He is the cause of the beginning and the ending. So if he's the cause of the beginning, so this is the beginning of the creation of God, or the cause of the creation of God, the beginning of it. He is the one that began the creation of God. Not that he is the first beginning of the creation of God, but he's the beginning of it. The one that begins it. So you see, when you take in light what you already understand, or simple verses, and take that into account and consider it, and then come to vague verses, you'll actually interpret correctly, not the other way around.
There in Genesis 1. That matches the light of John 1. He's the light. Okay, capital L. But here in Revelation 3, where it says he's the beginning of the creation of God, Colossians is saying the same thing. If you look in Colossians 1:15, who is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of every creature. Jesus Christ is the firstborn. He's a created Son of God. God created him. Okay.
Blasphemy. He is not a created being. He's firstborn of every creature. What is, not that he is the one first generated, firstborn, but the firstborn. What is a firstborn? One that um, inherits his father's property. So he shall have in Psalm 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 chapter 2. He shall have the heathen for his inheritance, and he shall he shall rule his kingdom, the millennial reign, that he shall inherit this kingdom. Um, so that's what the firstborn. The firstborn is the one that inherits the father's property. You know.
Okay? These people who teach that Jesus Christ was always there, as God has always, see, God has always been there, don't know the scriptures. What do you do with the verses I just showed you? They don't do anything with them.
Okay, I'm getting this off of Timotheus, this one. Um, Wayne Cook has made a video just like this too. So I'll show you. Like I said, he's the Alpha Omega. And if he's the Alpha Omega, the eternal one, the beginning and the end, he can't be the, have a beginning if he's eternal. He, things that are eternal are not things that have a beginning. You know, so if he's Alpha Omega, the first and the last, just as the same title Jehovah has, he is God Jehovah. He does not have a beginning. The beginning of the creation of God. So what he created, he's the one that created all. For John 1:3, all things were made by him, and without him was nothing anything made that was made. And without him was not anything made that was made. So he's the one that created. All things were created by him and for him. By him, he's the one that began the creation work, being God, and for him to inherit. Colossians 1:16-17, for by him are all things created that are in heaven and earth, visible and invisible, whether it be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him. Listen to that again. For those those in the back, all things were created by him and for him. And he is before all things. He was before all things, and by him all things consist. He's God. He did not have a beginning. Isaiah 9:6, for unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Not that he has the identity as that member of the Trinity, but he shall be Father of eternity. So he's God, Jehovah God. Did not have a beginning. So, I just want to make people aware what Martin Richling once taught. I'm not aware that he still has this video still up, or any other videos that teach on the deity of Christ. But I just in case, I want to make people aware. I know in the past I've seen this in the past, and I didn't cover it because I needed to learn first. Teach myself. You know. So we'll see you next time. Thank you. Take care.